Talk of Western separation arrived on the steps of the Alberta Legislature. Hundreds gathered to advocate for independence, while Indigenous groups stood in opposition. CTV's Kathy Lee on the growing divide.
The sound reverberated off the stone walls of the Alberta Legislature building. Hundreds supporting the separatist movement gathered in Edmonton, denouncing federal policies.
We have been dominated by Eastern politicians and Eastern politics. Our resources have been landlocked.
And pushing Alberta's autonomy.
If I have a vote, resounding yes.
An Angus Reid poll conducted before the election found 30% of Albertans would vote to separate from Canada if the Liberals were re-elected. This week, Premier Danielle Smith introduced legislation making it easier for voters to force a referendum. A group is mobilizing the public to register their intent to vote yes on that referendum.
I believe we've reached about 100,000.
With the rally happening in front of the legislature, Indigenous groups are also here expressing their discontent with talks of separatism.
You have to cause disruption, eruption, and distortion.
First Nations leaders across Alberta and Saskatchewan and members of the Indigenous community say the bill breaches their treaty rights.
We're here protecting the land and the resources. When treaties were made, they were a sacred covenant between our people and the Crown, and they're not being honored today.
They seem to think that they can just do whatever they want, trash talk us and trash talk the treaties. It is going to be a battle.
Smith, fresh off a meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney, in which she called their conversation a first positive step, reiterated on her weekend show her stance on the bill.
The First Nations had a special relationship with the Crown, a special relationship through treaty, and none of anything we are proposing would ever violate that.
With the UCP majority, the bill is expected to pass. What happens after that remains to be seen. But what is clear here is a deepening ideological divide. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Edmonton.